What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. We're pumping out 3 videos a week right now. All of it is designed to help you guys catch more bass. So hopefully you guys can learn something from the channel. You know, that's the goal of my channel, is to help you guys learn. But today we're going to talk about kind of an underrated bait from Yamamoto baits. It's something that doesn't really get talked about a whole lot, but it can catch you a lot of fish. It's a little sneaky little bait, kind of flies under the radar, but we're going to expose a secret here that a lot of people don't want you to know. So if you guys are ready, let's jump in. We'll talk about some baits, and this is perfect for the springtime bass fishing that we have right now. All right, guys, I mentioned this is one of the sneakiest baits that Yamamoto makes, and that is the Paddle Zeo. Let you get a good look at him right there. So this is a little bit beefier swim bait style bait, but it's got the, what would you call that? Perforated tail, section tail, that gives it a lot of movement. And you know, it's a very unique bait. So, you know, like I said, it's very soft, has a lot of tail kick, but it also has a lot of roll. So this bait wants to roll this way, and that's what I look for in a small swim bait, is a bait that rolls side to side, and that looks just like a shad that's swimming through there. So this is a bait, you know, I think it was designed to be put on the back of a, you know, an alternative for a chatterbait or even a swim jig trailer. All of those are great techniques. Back of a spinner bait, it's an excellent bait, excellent trailer for the back of your spinner bait, swim jigs, all that. But for me, I really like throwing it on this guy right here as more of a finesse option to a swim jig, a chatterbait, a spinner bait, something like that. So this right here, this is the Trocar Swimbait Hook. So it's the TK 178. This is a 3/0 hook and a 1/4 ounce weight on there. So, you know, it's fairly light, 1/4 ounce weight. It's not going to get down super deep. You know, you're able to fish this bait over top of cover, over top of laydowns, anything like that. And it is just enough weight, you can cast it really far, and this bait is not going to rise out of the surface. So, you know, this swim bait's pretty light by itself. So if you rigged it up on just a standard screw lock swim bait hook, it would be not enough weight, and that thing would just be on the surface. So you need a little bit of weight on there, and then you add the little blade. So that adds a little bit extra flash, just a little bit something extra to trigger those fish to bite. So let's rig this up. The swim blade hook comes with the screw lock at the head, so you can screw that bait in there. You know, the Paddle Zeo has a pretty large front right there that screw lock fits in perfectly. So I like to screw it till all the corkscrews are gone, but not all the way up against the eye. You know, I want to make sure that I have a little bit of play before that eye. You know, you don't want that bait touching the eye there, so you want to make sure there's a little bit of room, and then you basically just run him right through the hook slot in the belly, out the back. And I always like to just kind of Texpose that way you can bring it through any type of cover. You could literally pull this through a brush pile, a tree, dock post, anything, and it's just going to slide right over there. Now, if you're fishing more open water, you can just let that hook rest right on the top like that. That way, you know, any little bite, that fish is going to get there, and there's no plastic to rip. So your swim bait's going to last a little bit longer, but when you get around that cover, you want to just tuck in that hook point a little bit, just like that on the back. That way it just runs through any piece of cover like that. But this guy right here, this is deadly. So this is a very underrated bait right here. Like I said, it's going to roll this way. It has that awesome tail kick. It just looks so much like those shad, and especially the springtime of year, those bass really key in on these about 3.5, 4-inch shad before they're going to spawn. And this bait right here mimics that perfectly. So as far as setups for this, you know, I like to throw this on a little bit lighter line. So I would say 12 to 15 pound fluorocarbon is what I'm throwing this on. And then anywhere from like a 7'3" to a 7'5" medium heavy action rod. You know, basically you want to make sure you have a strong enough, a powerful enough rod to get that hook drove home if a big fish ate it, but you don't want too much. You know, you don't need too much of a rod. Like I said, it's a 1/4 ounce, so it's super light. You can't really cast it if you get too heavy of a rod. So you want to make sure you're in that, you know, medium heavy. Like a 7'3" medium heavy is a perfect rod for throwing this little bait right here. But man, this thing's money, and it's going to help you catch some fish. If you're looking for a new bait to try this spring, this right here is one of the sneakiest baits out there right now. Like I said, not many people talk about it, not many people use it. So if you're fishing a highly pressured lake, you want to try something new, give the Paddle Zeo a try. Bunch of fish catching colors, you know. Like I said, this color here is obviously to imitate a shad, but we have a bluegill imitating color. If the fish are spawning and you want to imitate a bluegill that's coming in the nest, you know, if you're in heavy grass, this color right here will get the job done. If you got dirtier water, you can throw the old trusty black and blue. So many different colors of this bait. You know, hard to beat a good green pumpkin pearl laminate, especially in that stained water. You know, this looks like those shad do in the stained water. So the green pumpkin back is always a good one to go with. But this bait right here, like I said, it's money. You guys got to try it. So appreciate you guys tuning in this video. Hopefully you learned something. Let me know in the comments down below if you've ever seen this bait, if you've ever used this bait. I'm really curious how many of you guys have used this or heard about this bait before. Because like I said, I think it's a pretty sneaky bait. So drop those comments down below. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you guys next time.